We continue now at the top of Daf Nun Aleph Amud Aleph from Meseches Eruvin. This is Eruvin Daf 51a. The Mishnah had said that again, if a person says, I want my shvisa to be at the base of the tree, that is effective, and the person can then walk 2,000 amos to the base of the tree, and then an additional 2,000 amos to his house. This all happens on Erev Shabbos. As Shabbos is approaching, person realizes he needs more than 2,000 amos to get to his house. So Amar Rava says, V'hu dechi roit li karo mati. This halacha, Rava here is saying a chumrah. He says that the only way this works is that if in theory you could run to the tree and get there before Shabbos, then we say that you're allowed to say, I want my makom shvisa to be by the base of the tree. Otherwise, if it's not even possible for you to get to that tree before Shabbos begins, you can't just say, I want my shvisa to be over there, even though you're not there. Amar le Abaye. So Abaye said to Rava, V'chashcha lo katani. What are you talking about? It says in the Mishnah, it gets dark. That sounds like right away, even if he runs, he's not going to make it. So the Gemara answers, Chashcha leveso. No, it means to say that it's getting dark, that he won't be able to make it to his house by the time Shabbos starts. Avoli karo shel ilan, but to get to the base of the tree, matzi ozel. That's not going to be a problem. He is able to do that. Iko diyamri, some people have a different version. Amar Rava says, Chashcha lo kimaski koli koli. Shabbos is coming in the sense that if he walks slowly, he's not going to make it to that point before Shabbos starts. Avol roid mati, but he does have to make it in order, if he would run to the base of this tree, he has to, at least in theory, be able to make it before Shabbos. Rabba v'Rav Yosef havo ka'azli b'orcha. Rabba and Rav Yosef, they were going on the road. Amar le Rabba le Rav Yosef. Rabba said to Rav Yosef, Tehei shvisaseinu tuse dikla desavil achua. Let us make our shvisa underneath the dekel tree, under the palm tree which supports its brother. There was another tree that leaned on that tree. V'amri, some people had the version tuse dikla deparik mari micharga, underneath the palm tree that redeems its owner from the taxes. This particular palm tree had so much fruit that the owner was able to sell the fruit and use that money to pay off taxes. So Amar le, so he said back to him, Lo yadana le, I don't know where that tree is. I can't make my shvisa over there. Amar le said back to him, Smoch alai, just rely on me, because I know where it is. The Tanya, because we learned in a brisa, Rav Yossi, Omer, Rav Yossi says, Im hayu shnayim, if there are two people, echad makir, v'echad sheino makir, one recognizes the location, the other one does not. Zeh sheino makir moser shvisaso lemakir. The one who does not recognize can say he's joining his shvisa with the person who does recognize. Zeh shemakir, and the one who recognizes the location, Omer, he says, Tei shvisaseinu b'makom ploni. Let my shvisa be, or let our shvisa be in that place. The Gemara ends off and says, Velohi, it's not true. What's not true? Rashi says, Velohi, Hada Amar Le Mishmeid Rabbi Yossi. This quote of this brisa in the name of Rabbi Yossi, lesser, it's not true. Delo Tanya Le B'Shem Rabbi Yossi, Elastama. It's not really Rabbi Yossi who said it, it was just a stam teaching. Tanya Le Le'el was in a brisa. Misham Hachi Amar B'Shem Rabbi Yossi, Ki Hechi De L'Kavla Mine. He only quoted Rabbi Yossi because that way he knew that he would accept the answer. Why? Gemara here says, Lo tana le Rabbi Yossi ala kiechi de lekabe lo minei mishum de Rabbi Yossi nimuko imo. He only said this brayse in the name of Rabbi Yossi because he knew he would then accept the teaching, because Rabbi Yossi always had his reasons with him. Rashi over here says, Veloi lo tanya le Rabbi Yossi nimuko imo taimo. He always has his reasons with him. In Meseches Gittin, they say the different praises of the sages. V'yam Rabbi Yossi nimuko imo. And the Gemara says over there that Rabbi Yossi always had his reason with him. Nim v'kav davar yasher kekav mashkolos, means he's always straight. Everything he says always fits, it's always just. The Gemara continues at the two dots, quoting the Mishnah, Meino makar o sheino baki v'chulu. Let's say the person doesn't recognize the location. So the Gemara now asks, Hani alpayim amo heichon ksivan. Where is the source for the idea that a tchum is 2,000 amos? Gemara says, the Tanya, we learned it in a brisa. Shvuish al tachtov elu arba amos. It says shvuish tachtav, each person resides underneath his space. That refers to the daled amos that a person has. Al yetze ish memakomo, a person shouldn't leave his place. Elu al payim amma, that refers to 2,000 amos. Menolan, how do we know that? How do we know it's 2,000 amos? Amar Rav Chisda says, Lamadnu makom mimakom umakom minisa, v'nisa minisa, v'nisa migvul, ugvul migvul, ugvul michutz, v'chutz michutz. These are all a series of gzeir shavs. We'll see, and Rashi describes it a little more. And then it says finally, umadosa michutz la'ir. The ultimate source is the word chutz, and when it describes the cities of the Levium, it says that the measurement outside of the cities, as paskedma, alpayim bo'amo, it says 2,000 amos. So we learn out from there 2,000 amos. Rashi here explains, makom mimakom umakom minisa pasuk shenemar bo makom. What we say is a pasuk that has the word makom in it. So like this case, al yetze ish mimakomo, velo nemar bo nisa, but it doesn't have the word nisa. Don't know some pasuk acher shenemar bo makam v'nisa. There's another pasuk that has the word makam and nisa. Kagon al yetze ish mimakomo donin mi v'samti l'chamakam asher yonos shama. Al yetze ish mimakomo doesn't say the word yonos, but it does say v'samti l'chamakam asher yonos. So now we can equate the word makam to the word yonos. Ma'alahalim ksiv nisa asher yonos af mikra de al yetze ish mimakomo marbi be nisa. So we see this includes nisa. This includes to flee. It's as if that pasuk has the word yonos in it. Then we do a gzera shava nisa nisa, v'nisa mi gavul, and then we go from nisa to the word gavul. Kilomar don in nisa zu shalo nemar bo gavul. Here it says nisa without the word gavul. Mi nisa shenemar bo gavul. There's another place where it says nisa with the word gavul. Dechsiv mi gavul ir miklato asher yonos. Umar benami beidach nisa de al yetze ish mekomo ki ilu ksib be gavul. Now it's as if it says the word gavul in that pasuk. V'ader don in gvul mi gvul. Then we learn gvul mi chutz, meaning don in gvul zeh shelo nemar bo chutz. Here it says gvul without the word chutz. Mi gvul shenemar bo chutz. There's another place where it says gvul with the word chutz. Shenemar matzo so goel adam mi chutz legvul. Umar binan chutz mi gzer shava lahai gvul dal yetze ish mekomo. Now the word chutz is over there. V'ader don in hai chutz mi chutz to umadosa mi chutz la'ir. Now we learn from umadosa mi chutz la'ir, which is the pasuk by the cities of the Levium, Dechsiv Bey, and there it says explicitly Alpayim Ba'amo, it says 2,000 amos, so that's the source for the 2,000 amos. So the Gemara asks, V'neilif mikir ha'ir v'chutza elef amma. But it also uses the word, instead of the word chutz, it says the word chutza, and it says only 1,000 amos. That's a pasuk right next to this other pasuk, where it talks about the 2,000 amos surrounding the Levite cities. It talks about 1,000 amos surrounding the cities. So how do you know it's 2,000? Maybe it's 1,000. Gemara says, Don in chutz mi chutz, ve'ein don in chutz mi chutza. We learn the word chutz from chutz, we don't learn chutz from chutza. Those two words are not similar enough. Gemara says, "Umay nafka mina." What difference does it make if the words are not that similar? Hatana dvei Rabbi Yishmael, in the yeshiva of Rabbi Yishmael, they taught v'shav hakohen uba hakohen zuhi shiva zuhi bia. We learn over here it's talking about saras on a house, and there's halachas that are compared between the first time the Kohen returns to inspect the house, and then when he comes back again a week later to again inspect the house. So we say zuhi shiva, zuhi bia. The returning to the house is the same as coming to the house a week later. So this is a classic example the Gemara always brings of a gzera shava where the words are really not that similar. You have the word vishav compared to the word uva. So you don't need similar words, the Gemara says. So the Gemara answers, Hani mile hecha deleka midi dedamile. That's only true in a situation where there is no other similar word. Aval hecha deika midi dedamile, but in a situation where you have a better word, midamile yalfinan. Better to use the preferred word. Here you can do chutza chutza, or you can do chutz chutza. Better to do chutza chutza, rather I should say, here you have a choice of doing chutz and chutz, or you have a choice of doing chutz and chutza. So it's better to do chutz and chutz rather than to do chutz and chutza. And the Gemara continues at the two dots, Alpayim amo agulos. The Mishnah had an opinion that when we measure the 2,000 amos, it's in a circle. It's a radius of 2,000 amos. The other opinion was, no, you actually do it as a square. You give the person even the little extra space, the diagonal of the square, so it's a little more than 2,000 amos. So the Gemara says, Reb Chanina ben Antignos. Now, according to Reb Chanina ben Antignos, Manavshach, Manavshach. If he holds of this Gezerah Shava, which we just learned it out from the cities of the Levium, Peyos Ksivan, if you look at that pasuk in terms of the measurement of the area outside the cities of the Levium, that is done with corners. It's done in a square. So you really should say it's a square. Why is he saying it's a circle? And he less like Gezerah Shava, if he doesn't hold that Gezerah Shava, Alpayim Amma Minole. Where does he learn 2,000 amos from? That's the only source we have so far. So the Gemara says, Le'olam Islay Gezerah Shava. Really, he does hold the Gezerah Shava, V'shani Hacha Damar Krab, but it's different over here, because the pasuk says, Zeh Yelohem Migrashei Ha'arim. It says, this, for them, is the area outside of the cities of the Levium. Meaning, we darshan Lozeh Atanos and Peyos. For these cities, we give corners. The spaces are measured in squares. The open spaces outside the cities of the Levium. V'iyah Atanos and Peyos L'shovsei Shabbos. But we do not give corners to the people who are making shvisa on Shabbos. For the areas of Tchum, that goes by a circle, that is not measured as a square. So what's the response of the Rabbanan? The Rabbanan respond, Tani Rav Chananya. Rav Chananya taught in a Braisa, Rav Chananya says, Kazeh Yehu Kol Shovsei Shabbos. So it says in a Braisa that Rav Chananya says, Kazeh. It's not that here we say that and nowhere else. On the contrary, all situations of Shabbos, they're measured as a square and not as a circle. That's the opinion of the Rabbanan. Amar Rav Acha Bar Yaakov says, Hamaver Dalet Amos B'Rishos Harabim. Let's say somebody carries, there's a halacha, you can't carry more than 4 amos in Rishos Harabim. You can't carry 4 amos in Rosh Hashanah. Eino chayev ad shemaver hein va'alachsona. And you're only chayev if you carry 4 amos, but including a little more, including the diagonal. In other words, imagine that you had a square of dalet amos, 4 by 4 amos, 4 amos squared. So then it's actually going to come out that the diagonal of that square is dalet amos v'ches chumshei amma. Rashi says it's actually going to be 4 amos, and then it's going to be 8/5 of an amma, a little bit more than an amma. So it really is a little bit more than dalet amos, because again, even for that halacha, we're going to measure it as a square. Amar Rava said, Badik lon Rava. Rava tested us, and he asked the following question. Amud b'Rosh Hashanah, when we talk about an amud in Rosh Hashanah, gavoa yud v'roch of dalet, that's 10 high and that's 4 wide. Tzarech hein v'alachsona no lo. Are we talking about a square? It has to be 4 wide, meaning in a square, 4 by 4 square, or are we saying that it has to be that it's a circle that is has a diameter of 4? So we responded, Lav Hainu de Rav Chananya. That's exactly what Rav Chananya said. The Tanya, because it was learned in a brayser. Rav Chananya, Rav Chananya says, Kazeh you call Shovse Shabbos. All the halachas of Shabbos that have to do with tchum, that have to do with rishuyos, they are all measured in squares, and therefore in this particular situation, when you're talking about 4 by 4 tfachim of this pillar, so that 4 by 4 tfachim is going to be measured as a square, not as a circle with a diameter of 4, but as a square that is 4 by 4. Gemara now continues that the Mishnah of Vizeu Sha'amru Ha'ani Ma'ariv Baraglav. The Mishnah again said that a poor person is allowed to use his feet. He can say, "My shvisa is where I am." Rabbi Meir Anu Ein Lanu Ela Ani. Rabbi Meir said it's only true by an ani. And then, of course, in the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda said, no, even somebody who's wealthy, even somebody who has bread, can make an eruv by saying, "Where I am is my eruv, or is my makom shvisa." Gemara says, Amar of Nachman. Of Nachman says, "Machlokas b'makomi." The whole machlokas here is when you're standing in the actual place. So then Rabbi Yehuda says that a wealthy person can stand in a place and say, "This is my makom shvisa." The Rabbi Meir Savar Ikar eruv b'pas. Rabbi Meir says, really, you need to use bread. And we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Nun Aleph Amud Beis.